Hello there, chat. Please give me one moment. I am just trying to patch in a potential second commentator. There's no potential. It's second commentator. Give me a moment. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I hope you're doing really well. My name is Ben. I am joined by Moog. I should have probably warned Moog that there's no actual presenter cam today because one of my cables broke. But how are you doing, Moog?
Average.
Average, wonderful. You were supposed to be here with me in person, weren't you, today?
That would have been ideal. It would have been ideal.
It would have been absolutely wonderful to have you here in person, but unfortunately, we have had to draw you in through the power of the internet to get you here today to help me commentate on this second game, which is pretty cool.
It is a wonder of tubes that could make this possible.
Chat, if you are in a position to let me know what is going on in terms of the volumes, if you can hear Moog okay and stuff like that, that'd be absolutely wonderful. I appreciate your feedback and things like that. Obviously, this is the first time we're doing this through a battle report to also then be able to patch somebody else in. But Moog, do you want to go through the very first army list? Which army list do you want to go through?
You know what? I'm going to go through the Slaves to Darkness, please.
I think this is this one. It is. Away you go.
Bam. Right, so what we got? Slaves to Darkness, Host of the Everchosen, the 6th Circle, specifically. So who have we got? Taking up half the army? Archeon. What else do you want to see in a Slaves to Darkness army? So he has got the Aura of Chaos Zinch. He has all the marks, anyway, so he can give out the buff, and I believe it's pluses to save for Zinch and Slaves to Darkness, or rerolls. We've got the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who can give fight twice. Obviously going to be used on Archeon, so we can try and Slayer a King's things off the board.
And that's a command ability, isn't it? It's not a spell.
Yes, and
is
that
it?
was the Chaos Lord, sorry, not the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I just read Lord and went for it regardless. But he has the Lord anyway, underneath, who's been turned into a wizard and has the Mask of Darkness,
Yep.
the same spell as the Sorcerer Lord, and that's just a Deep Strike spell.
Yep.
So we've seen this before on stream, where you make Archeon fight twice, you teleport him around the board.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty evident, right? You can fight once, then pile in again to a position where you can be more favourable to hit the heroes that are hiding behind the backline potentially in a normal game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then battle line, obviously, because we're host of the Evertrojans, we can have Varangard, a nice tanky, damaging unit.
Yep.
We got the 5 Chaos Knights again. We've seen them before. They're just a nice, fast unit that can go in objective grab. And then you've got the Untamed Beasts, which again, they're just bodies.
Well, yeah,
To
I was going to say there are 140 points for the 18 models, right, between the two of them, which is incredibly cheap. And they've got the option to be able to screen out potential teleports if needs be, but also screen out some really big charging points as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other ones that you'd use would be Iron Golems, I believe. With Untamed Beasts, they have a pre-game move.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So they've got a bit more going on for them there that way.
Yeah, which is quite nice. Just before we jump onto the second list, Jewel Knight Jess, thank you so very much for that raid. I really do appreciate it. That is awesome. The players I can confirm have hand shook and are starting the game, but I'm just going to really quickly go through Miles' list, who is from Gitmob Gaming. He is playing Blades of Khorne and the Reapers of Vengeance, which is pretty nice. It's nice to see more Khorne on the tabletops. We have got a Blood Secretor, a Slaughter Priest, a Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury. So that's the one where you can pile in from 6 inches away. Scarbrand, obviously. Be'lakor, so we've got the Archeon versus Be'lakor matchup, which is real nice. And then we've got the Slaves to Darkness Demon Prince, which is the half charge aura on the blood slick ground that it can do until GW decide they want to change that, because it's incredibly strong. Particularly into something like Archeon. Miles gets to go first potentially. You put that down nice and early. Archeon then suddenly doesn't get into the combats he wants to get in, and then gets charged by Scarbrand and such. And then you've got 2 units of Blood Reavers and Fleshhounds, nice and cheap. You've got a unit of Wrathmongers, which are there for the +1 attack that they can give to all of these things within 8 inches, I believe it is. And then the Chronomantic Cogs for more movement. The Hexgore Skulls for the ability to stop your opponent's spells, which is quite nice.
Absolutely. Feels weird to be having an endless spell in a Khorne army.
Yeah.
Can't help but feel Khorne would not be pleased.
I mean, Be'lakor's going to be the one casting it if it's anybody, isn't it?
Be'lakor is kind of a big poop.
He's a very, very big poop. All right, let us go to the top down then, and we can have a look. You can't quite see the objectives as much as you could the other ones here on this tabletop, but I can safely confer that there is one here, and one here, because I haven't told you what mission we're playing yet, have I? But you don't even know this yet, Boog. But
I have no clue.
we are playing this First Blood. So it's a slightly more staggered, laid-back deployment, and there are 3 objectives in the center, and you've got hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and then 2 VPs if you complete a battle tactic. Pretty simple. The only other thing is, at the start of each turn, battle round, after players have received their starting command points, the player taking the second turn picks a battlefield objective to be a vantage point. When a player receives their start of round command points, if they control the vantage point, they get an extra CP. Not a massive addition to the game, but an addition to the game nonetheless, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same deployment style that we last saw Khorne on during the Mancunian Carnage, though a different mission.
Yeah.
Where we famously saw all those bloodthirsters just bogged down in the middle by 20 plague bearers.
Yeah, the difference this time though is they don't have the plague bearers to go through, do they?
No, he's clearly got one big target, and let's be honest, we all want to see Scarbrand smash Archeon with more wounds in one combat phase, don't we?
My title didn't change. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean that would be pretty cool, right? To see all of that happen.
Yeah, but of course, Bellacor's got his special abilities once per game to stop things essentially working for a turn or two, depending on who gets priorities and gives them away and such. And there's one big obvious target in the army for that, isn't there?
The Chaos Sorcerer Lord.
Absolutely, you don't want them getting those spells off.
Well, I mean, if you can't fight twice, you manage to absolutely. Yeah, no, Archeon, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, and if the Blades of Khorne Be'lakor manages to get that priority turn roll and can chain it out for 2 turns,
Yeah.
then that's going to severely hamper him. And that's
Yeah.
before we even consider things like your Blade Slick Ground and
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you definitely got the ability here to we can see that we've got well, Sam had priority for a start, and he's making Miles go first, which kind of makes sense. Just to let Miles do the movement first and then counteract with Sam and prevent the double turn there for Miles. But you can see that you've got Be'lakor sat over here. You've got Scarbrand with his little legs here. The Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury just here. And then where is the Slaves of Darkness Demon Prince? I'm gonna have a
I mean,
cheeky look.
I physically can't see it,
No,
so
I can't. Well, you physically can't see them because you're a good 2 hours away from me, aren't you? So, oh, it's there right at the back. It's a conversion. It is. Is this model just here?
fair.
I'm gonna see if I can move the close up so we can get a better look at that. Do you want to just have a quick chat through whatever you're gonna say?
Well, yeah, we can also see that we've got the skulls out already, the prayer, and we saw it last time that Khorne was in play. Um, but these effectively just hamper anyone that's going to be casting on the board. I think if you roll a natural 8 on your cast attempt, you automatically fail and forget that spell for the entire game and take mortal wounds. And where you've got 2 wizards that want to deep strike Archeon, that's obviously going to be a little bit of an issue potentially. But other than that, it's just going to be the Fleshhounds going on to the middle objective and claiming that. Of course, Fleshhounds also have a deny. While
Yep.
Khorne aren't meant to do a lot of magic, they're very good at anti-magic.
Can
And
they anti-magic their own stuff, Moog?
um,
No, they can't. I don't think they can.
um,
However, Mage Eater, the trait on the Blood Secretor, might be able to eat the chronomantic cogs.
funnily enough, the skulls do affect your own casting. because it is just wizards within 12. So, I mean, Be'lakor is only ever going to cast Cogs, and then I guess leave it up for most of the game.
Yeah, potentially. Potentially.
But there is that chance that he gets -2 from his cast roll, and on an 8 he could deal mortal wounds to himself and forget the spell for the entire game. And an 8's a near average result, so
Sorry, I just went to move the camera again. I apologise.
no, we saw it last time where the very first cast of the game was a 8, and the Great Unclean One forgot his spell for the entire game.
Oh yeah, it is funny
So
when that
so
happens.
it could happen to Be'lakor.
It could very well indeed happen to Be'lakor. We see that Miles did very much quickly take aggressive expansion, took the objective in the centre and the one that you can see in the top left hand side of the board just there. And has then moved on with his life. Has gone, cool, I've got hold 1 to hold 2, hold more, and now I have taken my battle tactic, it is now your turn. Relatively standard start to these sort of things. Miles has very cleverly decided not to overcommit anything. He's definitely taking his time with stuff. He doesn't need to overcommit. He can quite simply just be like, okay, cool, you crack on. I'll wait for you to come to me potentially, because equally, Miles doesn't want to put himself in a position where if Sam gets the double turn, it can be devastating for him.
To answer your question, Mr. Lamatastic, I don't believe this event has any special rules in place.
Nope, there's none of that happening. It's quite simply just standard event.
Yeah. So obviously, the last event that we did cast, Khorne had the 10% extra point, or just over 10% extra points.
Yep.
But this time, no, they're going at it as is meant to be.
What is interesting is, yes, they're going at it as meant to be, and also, if we take a really quick look at the factions represented, there are 3 Khorne players here.
Yeah, when I first saw the list that were in for this event, obviously you got your Stormcast Eternals. They're absolutely everywhere. They're like vermin, but not cool.
It's like a rash on a baby's bottom.
Absolutely, they're everywhere.
Everywhere you don't want it.
Yeah, it's nice to see all these middle and lower tier armies come out to play.
Yeah, it definitely is. One of the things that I really liked as well is that we've also got we've got the Nighthaunt book here is in play, the brand new book. So we've got 2 of them, and we've got the same amount of Skaven as we do Nighthaunt.
I'm surprised at the lack of Daughters of Cain, considering they've also just got a new book.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one, but I would have anticipated more.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons that there might only be one at the moment is because there is a severe amount of people that play Daughters but haven't had chance to use the book yet.
Barely changed.
It changed quite significantly. So the war scrolls on their surface haven't changed, right? Their main war scrolls basically haven't changed. However, the intricacies inside of the book, in terms of things like the 6 battle tactics, the grand strategies, the spells, this, that, and the other, have all had little tweaks and little flicks and things like that that have made them a little more appealing, a little less appealing in certain areas, and have changed the game a bit.
By the by, I don't suppose you know who has the Archaeon priority.
Oh, that is a very good point. I will double check.
So Archaeon, I believe in this sub-allegiance, has the ability to find out who has the next turn in advance, using a CP. So they just hide the result under a cup or something off to the side, and I think it's on a 1, 2, 3. The Slaves to Darkness player would have the priority. On a 4, 5, 6, it would be the Blades of Khorne, but the Slaves to Darkness player gets to know this beforehand, whereas the Khorne does not.
Yeah, so the roll
hmm
was a 3, so that makes it Miles' turn next.
Okay, I got it the wrong way round. It was 1, 2, 3, the opponent. 4, 5, 6, Slaves to
I
Darkness.
think that's right, isn't it? I can't remember which way it is, I'll be honest with you. Oh, what's it called? The Eye of something. I can never remember which way. I think it is 1, 2, 3, it's the opponent. 4, 5, 6, it's you. chaos, slaves to dark, and it's now it's an ability, isn't it? A battle trait for the sixth circle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Host of the Ever Chosen.
Dark Prophecy. There we go.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3
On a
opponent.
1, 2, 3, the opponent. On a 4, 5, 6, you get it.
Yeah, it's even more
Okay.
mysterious when the commentators don't know. Too right, too right.
I know. There's just so many armies and so many sub factions. I
One of
mean,
the
this sub faction alone has 8 optional extra sub factions. So
yeah. So it's host of the Ever Chosen, and then you can choose one of 8 circles. And if you choose anything but the 6th circle, you're not playing the game right.
so the 6th circle, as I didn't actually go through it during the list, is the Varangard and Archeon will add 1 to their damage when they charge.
Huge.
Yep.
Actually huge. On the amount of attacks that you can get with certain things as well, massive. One of the best things about Archeon I think, isn't necessarily the Slayer of Kings, don't get me wrong, it's great, or his ability to fight twice with a Lord behind him, don't get me wrong, that's great. You know, there's definitely, like, sway between it all, right? I think the best thing about him is having that extra knowledge before you even started your turn of who's going next. Like,
Oh
who
yeah.
gets the priority going into turn? Like, obviously, you don't have to take the turn, but it's priority, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it means that you can either play aggressive or defensive based on what you want to do.
And while he knows this now, he wouldn't have been able to, because the command ability is done at the start of your hero phase. He wouldn't have been able to know before the game, if he gave his turn away or not.
Oh, actually,
So
yeah, on a 1, 2, 3, your opponent must take the first turn.
yeah. So it
Oh,
dictates it.
wow, that's incredible. That's even better because then you are
So
playing with affirmed knowledge, right?
yeah, absolutely. And if you've got things with not prime objectives, you know that your opponent might have the chance to burn one, or your opponent will have the chance to burn one, or if you will have the chance to burn one. So a whole turn early, you can start planning your way towards, maybe baiting people to go further towards an objective,
Yeah,
and then just being like, nah,
just get rid of it
afraid
completely.
not.
Yeah, it's a really good way to be able to play a mind game, and be ahead of the pack if you like. And yes, he's 800 and whatever points, and his war scroll in itself might not look like it's worth it, but I think that ability on its own adds a swathe of value to the whole war scroll. Just the ability to, I mean, you don't get to fully dictate, right? Because you roll a dice, but having the knowledge before you even take your turn is incredible. Because
Yeah,
if you know
absolutely.
you're getting that double, you go hard aggressive, and then you take the double and go hard aggressive again, right?
Yeah. You don't even have to go for the hard aggressive route. You can play it soft, and
Passive.
then they think, okay, if they've got like the Be'lakor ability, they might think, okay, we'll hold it off for this turn because if he's playing this soft,
Yeah,
we don't know if he's going to have that double, so he doesn't get that 2-turn chain with the Be'lakor ability.
yeah.
And what's the Skull Weeping Torrents all about? Let's just do this.
Oh,
Those are the Hexgorger Skulls.
that was weird. I'm not gonna lie. Ugh. Oh, technology. Usually, obviously, I have the commentator next to me, and we just have a laptop each and throw it up. But I've obviously sent Moog the particular space to go to be able to do this from his location, and it's just very strange because I didn't expect these to drop up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So those are the Hexgorger Skulls. It's an endless prayer, because Khorne don't like wizards.
Or
Basically, it's a
spells.
big wizard
Deter bomb.
hindrance. It's a
Yeah,
big hindrance of wizard, including allied wizards.
which is
Basically,
Be'lakor.
don't roll an 8 when you're near it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, if you
otherwise, you
if
forget all your spells and take more wounds.
yeah. So you've got you summon it how you summon it, whatever. After the invocation is set up, at the end of at the start of each of their hero phases, the commanding player can move these parts of the invocation as if they are modeled with a move characteristic of 8 and can fly. Then, after the parts have moved, they must remain within 6 inches of each other. And then, obviously, the hex gorges are the ones -2 from casting rolls for wizards that are within 12 In addition, if a wizard is within 8 and attempts to cast a spell on the unmodified casting roll is 8, then it no longer knows the spell, and then each wizard within 12 takes d6. Each wizard.
Yep. And that's allied as well.
Yes, it is.
So
We saw aggressive expansion also come out there from Sam this turn, and he just decided to go, do you know what? I'm just gonna bish bash bosh, away we go. Done. Move up. Moved the knights over this way, and then moved some untamed beasts here, and has played it very, very passive. He doesn't need to go super aggro. He knows Miles has the turn. He knows Miles is going to want to come this way anyway, and that he's going to have to put some work in, and then he wants to counter hit with Archeon into potentially Scarbrand or anything like that.
yeah, I don't think we'll see Scarbrand getting into a fight. He's still pretty slow. And he's not going to want to waste Scarbrand's full fighting potential fighting 9 untamed beasts.
Yeah. Mr. Lamont has to say, in Age of Sigmar, are there any wizards units that consist solely of wizards rather than just of characters? There's things like the Sisters of the Thorn and like Evocators and things like that that are wizards and can cast spells.
Yeah, Doomfire Warlocks still exist.
Yep, and they still are wizards, I believe.
And you've got the I can't quite remember, the new Nurgle Rotbringer Sorcerer. They can be taken in covens, which is 3
Yep.
wizards in a unit.
Yep.
And then every elf is a wizard for Lumineth, so there you go. Because elves.
Pretty much.
I mean, technically, it is only the leaders of the units for Lumineth that have the wizard keyword.
Yes.
I believe quite a lot of Stormcasts can be wizard as well from the Evocator chapter. That's the wrong system. Chamber.
Chamber.
Yeah, the Stormcast chambers. That's what they're called.
Oh yeah, sorry, my brain just absolutely died there for a second. I'm like, what do you mean chamber? There we go. Hi Tungsten, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining us. And we can see Miles' turn now. Hasn't used the Bellacore ability yet because he doesn't need to. There's no point. You might as well wait until Archeon is in a position to warrant being a threat, I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He doesn't have to do it on his turn either. So at least I don't think he does. For some reason, I can't find Bellacore on the database.
Bellacore.
At the start of the enemy hero phase, you can pick it. So he can't do it in his turn. He's got to wait until next turn or the turn after in the Archeon's hero phase.
Yeah.
Obviously, Archeon knows who has the next turn as well. I'd assume at this point.
Yep.
Do you know?
No, not yet, because it's not been Archeon's turn.
Because it says turn 2 on the screen.
Yeah, it is turn 2.
So,
Both
yeah,
players have had a turn. Sam
of course.
will only find out in his turn.
I'm sick, man.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. You're okay. You are absolutely fine. Do not worry, good sir. Thank you very much for joining me, Mugo. I appreciate you being here. It is wonderful to have you here. I appreciate it. A shout out from the Southwest, new to Age of Sigmar and Blight Lords. Any recommendations?
Depends what kind of thing you want.
Yeah.
Out of your Blight Lords.
Like, put them on. You can put Blight Lords on drones, can't you?
Yeah. So you've got the Foot Blight Kings, and then you've got the Fly Riders, which are very, very common and very good at the moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There is a lot of positive movement in that area for them.
Yeah, Nurgle's just a overall extremely solid battle time at the moment.
Works really well. Why not?
Yeah. It's one of the few battle times where there's probably not that many bad units in there.
No, and it's relatively difficult to counterplay.
It is definitely something that's quite hard in this current setup to counterplay.
Yeah.
They've got a few specific builds that are doing really well, and it works more on denial than anything else.
Yeah. Love the look of Manfred. Is he worth it? Well, he won't go with your Blight Lords. Oh, Soul Blight Grave Lords. Is that what you mean? Do you mean the zombies?
Oh, Soulblight Gravelords. Okay,
Okay, different kettle of fish. Like, completely different
yeah,
kettle of fish.
yes,
The vampire. Okay, that's fair. That's both of us are there
yes.
like, Nurgle, OP.
In which case, yes, Manfred is really good. He requires a bit of finesse to use, I feel. He's not just one of these pieces that you just, I'm a Maw Crusher, throw him in.
Yeah.
Because he's got that element of squishiness to him, he requires a bit more of decision making.
Yeah. Uh, him.
He's got,
Oh, sorry, go on. Go on.
I'd say, he's got a lot of ability to play kind of like the movement game and appear in random places, help things disappear.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely got that ability to just pull in some hurt as well. I would definitely look at getting some zombies with him. Potentially looking at some dire wolves with Belladamma as well. She's really good with them. You definitely want, if you're getting zombies, you want a necromancer. Basically, if I'm being honest, if you're just starting out, just get what looks cool.
Yeah, with the Soulblight line, there's again most of it's pretty solid. Obviously, zombies are way above everything else currently,
Yeah.
just because they've got really good rules. Um, but I'd say everything, or most things in the tome are, really good and playable. But if you're just starting out with the army, a nice start collecting Soulblight box and picking up Manfred, solid start.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, so we've seen Miles again. He took Conqueror for the center objective because it's a really easy one for him to get. He moves on a couple of. Well, he moves the majority of the Flesh Hounds on by the looks of it. The
Yeah.
Wrathmongers on there, and the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury has just gone and sneaked its toe in place. I can imagine we're going to see the Slaves to Darkness Demon Prince basically sit on Be'lakor with Bloodslit ground so that he keeps Be'lakor safe until Be'lakor needs to do what Be'lakor needs to do.
Well, I mean, he doesn't need to really sit by him because the aura is so big on that ability.
18 inches.
18 inches is
18
ridiculous.
inches. Ugh.
So, if anything, it should maybe be a bit central so that you can deny charges against those flesh hounds as well.
Do you know what? I genuinely think that was supposed to be an 8-inch aura, but they just misprinted. Like, that's my logic. Like, somebody accidentally put a 1 in front of it.
I don't know. Maybe 9 inches, just because that's where deep strike comes into play. But yeah, 18 is
With
it's
the
very
thing,
large.
with the way things are split into different books, are Slaves to Darkness, Chaos, and Divided, pretty much.
Um, everything in the Slave to Darkness book can be given the mark that it wants, though.
Yeah,
So you can make them undivided if you want. There's
they can only
not
take
that.
4 marks, Tungsten. They can't take the Skaven mark, right?
You can take the mark of undivided.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
Um,
can take that. Yeah,
yeah, it's just not great for the most part, I believe. Um, I think most people go mark of Zinch at the moment because it increases saves.
yeah.
Um, you might see some use of mark of Slanesh in some places, but
There you go. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more. Coming in from Sam. Sorry, from Miles, along with Conquer to get over that center objective. It's turn 2, and Khorne's not in combat yet. It is a good sign of a good player. Oh, I need to go and see the cup. Give me 1 moment.
yes, go find out who has that next turn. And yes, funnily enough, I thought there would be an interaction for this. So in the Khorne list, we have models with large flails that are called Wrathmongers. Bring them up there. As we can see, they've got an ability called Crimson Haze, which adds 1 attack characteristics for weapons used by Khorne units wholly within 8. Archeon has the Khorne keyword. Despite not being in that army, he has the Khorne keyword. So those Wrathmongers will also buff Archeon if they are within 8 of him. So he will get another attack on Slayer of Kings.
Sorry, I realised you can't actually see when I get back. The Archeon has the next turn.
I see. Interesting.
So it's a double turn here for Archeon.
Yeah. I just went to clarify with the Wrathmongers, they do give Archeon an extra attack if he is within 8.
Oh, is it just Khorne, not friendly Khorne?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Because like 50% of that book say friendly Khorne, and 50% of that book just say Khorne.
This one's just Khorne, so
Is it just Khorne in the
hopefully.
app? That's
I
the
do
question.
not have the app on next to me, but
It's alright, I've got it open, don't worry. Wrath Mongers.
the Horus Heresy box set came on pre-order today, and I think it comes out in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
It'll either be 2 or 3 weeks, Ava. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Yeah, pre-order today, and we're doing a giveaway for it. The segue. And we'll be giving away one of those boxes tomorrow. The end of play tomorrow. We will find out who wins it. So if you want to get in, you can either donate or you can email in. Viper, it will be 10 a.m. your local time, and it will be on pre-order today, not out today. I don't know what time you're currently at, but it should be about 10 a.m. Okay. So yeah, Archeon being able to get that second turn means that you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive with this Archeon this turn, right?
We also need to. Well, I don't think he would have used the Be'lakor ability at this point because obviously Archeon still needs to move. It'll be more prudent to use it next turn because he would have had to pick in the Slaves to Darkness hero phase if he points at Archeon or not. And to be fair, pointing at Archeon right now, where he has to still get into position and potentially take him 2 turns, would be a really good shout. Obviously, if he gets Mask of Darkness cast on him, he can still make that move because it's a spell.
Yeah, definitely could. Sorry, I just had to answer my front door bell. You buy it from GW Store, Viper, or a third party. Yeah, I reckon we'll probably see Archeon come this way and then maybe try and get round into Scarbrand in the second turn. Do you think?
Yeah, it's possible. As I said, it all depends on if Be'lakor is pointed at Archeon this turn as well. And try to deny him anything, because Archeon's at a pretty inconvenient place at the moment if he's not allowed to move for the next 2 turns.
Shall I go and ask? Or shall I say when he? I'll tell them to knock on the window when they're pointed when Be'lakor does his thing.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Yeah, they're gonna knock on the window. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Fantastic. Okie dokie. Oh, I realise you've still not been to this venue yet.
No, I haven't.
It's a lovely venue.
I mean,
I basically live here.
I'm due to when we're doing I think the doubles tournament is potentially when we're going here next.
The one-day doubles in October?
Yeah, the one-day doubles that we need to that we definitely need to sort an army list out for.
Oh yeah, we should probably do that. I want to take Night Hunt. I want to take Mine More Banshees only.
Sure. I'll give you one guess on what army I'll take.
Skaven.
Bam, you got it.
Done. Banshees, actually, we found them last game, right? 4 Banshees are 105 points, so you reinforce them to 210, right? They're like 3s and 3s minus 2/2.
Yeah.
and they eat spells.
Yeah.
It's
They're solid.
it's incredible. I mean, they fall over to a stiff breeze, but when you've got 36 of them, a 2,000-point army, and it's only 840 points, winner, right?
Well, it's 36. Well, you can get one Archeon, or you can get 36 Bible Banshees for that.
I'll take the Banshees, honestly. I'll definitely, because they can eat spells. Their spell eating is better than denying spells.
Mm.
It's after the deny, and you just have to roll above the casting value, not the casting roll.
No, solid. Nighthaunt's looking to be a very good book.
Yeah, especially going into the new season, where we're going to be focused on battle line units, apparently, according to GW.
That's going to be extremely interesting, and as a player of a army that has extensive amounts of battle line, I'm ready.
You certainly are. Mr. Lamatastic, I did not. I ended up shifting on all of my... I had like 120 chain rasps that I ended up shifting on. I'm very sad. I should have kept them.
But I am ecstatic with the Skaven news that we got yesterday, released on the 13th day after the release of Echoes of Doom.
What was that, Moog?
It's some of the abilities for 3 of the clans.
Ooh. Nice.
I may have been prompted to buy another 60 clan rats this morning.
Good man. I'm surprised you didn't drop me a message.
No, these ones were painted, so
Oh.
even better.
Yeah, fat win. So we've seen Archeon move up there from the behind bit of cover that they had originally. Probably going to go straight into those Fleshhounds. Now, I wonder if both players remember that the Wrathmongers do give Archeon that extra attack across all of his abilities, which is quite nice. Does that mean his Slayer of Kings has more chance to get a double 6?
Yes. Yes, it does. Now we have to assume as well that the Bloodslit ground is out. I don't quite know what the range is going to be from that Demon Prince all the way back. They're probably going to be out of distance. They're again 18 from a top-down camera that is 2 hours away that I can't effectively measure.
That's 12. That Archeon's out of 18.
Archeon is out of 18.
Oops.
Okay.
Archeon's out of 18 at the moment. I will bet a shiny penny that Archeon is out of 18. I might have to order a milkshake. I've got Baz currently sat at the window looking at me with a milkshake in his hand, and I'm like, I might have to get one.
Well, you can send me one.
I can send. You want one of these milkshakes? They make cracking milkshakes here as well.
Well, send them down. Send Bez down.
Send them down like Sam is currently sending his Varangard down the center of the battlefield here to try and reclaim that objective. I think he also went Conquer, didn't he? Yeah. They're both players doing a beautiful mirror of exactly what's going on here. A tit for tat move. I'm surprised we didn't see Archeon try to mask of. In fact, he might have tried. I will double check.
I don't think it was worth them trying, to be honest, at this point. I mean, if he goes into the back of them, he's got the double Bloodthirster and the Aura to go in, and there's not really many other places for Archeon to go right now. So I don't know if it would have been worth it to cast Mask of Darkness, as opposed to just moving up, keeping your position so that Archeon can't be charged by Scarbrand in the next turn via the screening of the Varangard and the Knights.
But remember, Sam knows he's got the next turn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So he's going to obviously take out. I would heavily assume, unless the charges fail, that we are going to be taking out the unit of 5 puppies.
Well, with the knowledge that he is going first next turn, he did get Mask of Darkness off. He did cast the spell. It was successful. However, it was unbound with Blood Tithe points.
Ah. Interesting. I can't think of where I would have put Archeon that would have made it worthwhile, but obviously you could have got him in a bit of a different place, maybe so that you could have charged.
You charge down the side.
Bellicor.
Yeah.
Try to draw a card.
Oh, where? sorry. Where are you trying to draw, Mook?
Maybe on that nice piece of terrain.
Down here.
No, by Bellicor.
Oh, down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have gone that way.
If you haven't been pointed out by Bellicor, you Mask of Darkness to him, you Slayer of Kings him. job's done.
Oh, of course, because he can't. Well, he can point at you at the start of your next turn, right?
Oh yeah, and you got to assume that's what he's going to do at this point.
He's got to. And the 9-inch aura here for the no deep strike. There's a miniature on here as well. Like, there's no actual space to put Archeon because of the size of his base.
Yeah. I mean, we still got the blood slick ground, so even if this screen does die, the chances of them getting in, pretty diminished.
Yeah,
But he might not even need Archeon to do it. He can slam the 3 Varangard in with a double fight.
like he's already done.
In fact, I don't know if that's a hero that has to fight twice with the Chaos Lord.
Well, Varangard have the ability to fight twice, once
Yeah.
per game on their War Scroll anyway.
No, it's just a Mortal Slaves to Darkness unit, so yeah, could do.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's fair play, right? Like, if that happens.
Yeah, the Vanguard no slouches in combat.
Especially with the +1 damage after they've made a charge.
Yeah.
And do they... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, they could have had +1 attack, but I forgot their Mark of Zinc.
Yeah, they're not Khorne, they're Markers each, unfortunately. Is there any benefit to either players being in or near terrain? Well, the players themselves, no, but the models on the tabletop, potentially. So we are currently playing with terrain rules. That's what that little dice was that you saw there on the map earlier on the close-up cam. And there's a series of different terrain rules that they can have, deadly, inspiring, that sort of stuff. But predominantly, I would say 90% of players don't play with terrain rules, and instead, they're only used to convey like cover. So if you're inside it, you get +1 safe. That's pretty much what most people do, right?
Yeah, you've got the other rules such as garrisoning. If you have any terrain features that are classed as garrisonable, which if you're inside it, you get -1 to be hit and +1 to saves.
Yep.
But obviously you increase your footprint by being inside of it. Like, likewise you also increase your footprint by being inside of it. So it's
Well,
a
like
bit of
this,
positive, bit of negative. But
say
obviously you can't move.
say they thought this bit was garrisonable, right?
Mhm.
You would walk your unit in here, garrison inside it, and then you measure from this point.
Yeah.
So you can get an absolute swathe of movement on garrison if you do it right. But then equally, as Moog says, you are susceptible to being charged because they only have to charge part of that terrain feature, not all of it. But then when you move out of it at the other end, you again measure from any point.
Yeah. A lot of faction terrain is garrisonable. And the Caradron Overlord's faction makes a lot of use out of the rule via its boats being garrisons.
Yeah. Which is quite nice. We've actually got a Caradron Overlords player here. Unfortunately, they lost their first game, so I'm kind of hoping they win their second game, so I can get them on stream third game.
That would be very interesting. Garrison Overlords, they may as well be called that.
The GO.
They are a very. They had a lot of good times in AOS 2. They were an absolute stomper of an army in AOS 2, and they've just kind of fizzled out this edition, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've not really had an update. They've not their White Dwarf update was nothing short of lackluster. Yeah, it wasn't phenomenal, was it?
It's a very niche army to know how to play and make the most out of all your garrison and floating your boats up and around the table as well.
Yeah, absolutely, very very strange.
It's difficult and dangerous terrain, I think. Yes.
It's referred to as deadly, right?
Yeah, deadly, sinister, and things like that. So you roll these dice before the start of the game, and it applies to that terrain piece throughout. I think the deadly one is if you finish a move next to it, roll a dice for every model.
If you finish a move or a pile-in or set up next to it, you roll a dice, and on a 1 you take D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, so it's not a massive boon.
No, the big thing is if you set up next to it. That's the big one. Like, a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, but it's only D3 mortals.
D3 mortals before you even started the game could potentially be quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it could be 1, could be none, could be 3. Like,
In my experience, it's always none for the enemy and 3 for me. So
Yeah, that's how that works. But you play Skaven, so I fully expect that. Like,
what's D3 mortal wounds to yourself? That's a good day.
that's a positive day. In fact, anything less than 7 mortal wounds is a positive day.
So I didn't manage to catch the whole of the last game because my tablet ran out of battery.
Oh, no.
But I've got to assume the Skaven won a mighty battle. did the Wallop Bombardier kill himself at least?
No, even better. They charged the Cruciator in, and the Wallop Bombardier killed him on Unleash Hell. It's 7 wounds to it.
Well, that's good.
Which was pretty cool.
Absolute hero.
Absolute Chad.
Absolutely. It's a great army.
I love it.
Right,
it
so
was,
we can see that the Khorne Fleshhounds are not they are not bound for this world any longer.
No, I mean the Wrathmongers did get lifted from the table very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But
so on the plus side, Archeon's not getting +1 attack anymore.
That is a plus. I don't know if it's the plus that we were looking for, but it's a plus.
On the downside, next turn these Fleshhounds are dead. These the cavalry moves out of the way and Archeon plows himself into Scarbrand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that, but there's a half charge aura coming in from this Demon Prince here.
As long as he remembers to use it, yes.
Well, you use at the start of your hero phase, don't you?
Yeah, as long as he remembers to use it.
I think
there's always human error.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only reason you've got that list in the list, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a powerful aura.
Unfortunately, Archeon's not in a position to pile in particularly far.
I mean, I guess depending on what it does with the movement of the Knights and the Varangard, because as long as Archeon charged, he's still got his 3-inch pile in for another extra 3-inch move, essentially.
Yeah. If I'm Sam here, if Archeon... I don't think Archeon has... No, Archeon did swing. The Varangard killed the Wrathmongers, and Archeon swung into the dogs. So this is just the move and pile in from. Yeah.
Right, so we've had the command ability come out to fight within 6.
Yep.
It's a shame it doesn't quite get your Scarbrand in, but...
No, I mean, you're quite a way away from Skyrim. I think this is looking at about a 12-inch move. One thing that, don't get me wrong, the Bloodslit Ground halves all runs and charge rolls, doesn't it? But it doesn't halve your movement. Just halves runs and charges.
Runs and charge only, but with that Bloodthirster going in, sorry, just to make a point quickly. With that Bloodthirster going in, he's stopped the pile in, and, if they're within 3, that upper unit, they can't, they can obviously fall back in the turn, but they're still going to have to... Well, they have to fall back. They can't use that movement for repositioning to get into a better place to charge.
He made sure that they were out of 3.
Fair enough.
That's what the little marker was.
Okay. I take it that was a unit that probably hadn't fought then.
The one at the top?
Yeah.
No, they have fought. He just didn't want to bring them in, I don't think. Because what you got to remember is Miles doesn't know who's got the next turn either.
Yeah, but still, the positioning of the Bloodthirster is just that slight further 3 inches up. It gives that whole 3-inch part where he can't move.
Yeah. And one of the downsides here for the Archeon is, unless he gets the fight twice ability off on him again, he's going to have to go into this screen and kill this, and then he could potentially go into either Be'lakor or the Demon Prince if he doesn't get sort of stared at by Be'lakor.
Oh, it's hard to imagine a world where this turn he doesn't get stared at by Be'lakor.
It would be a catastrophic failure if Miles doesn't let Be'lakor just point his dirty little finger right at that Archeon.
What I want to see from what I want to see ideally from Khorne's side is we point the finger at Archeon and he can do nothing. He can't move, he can't fight, he can't do anything. And I want to see Scarbrand be unscathed after the next Close to Darkness turn as well, so that he's got all of his super angry profile up. Because if he hasn't fought in the previous phase, he becomes his best profile essentially.
Well, he didn't fight in turn 1, remember?
I know, but if they charged into him in this phase, they would obviously cancel it out.
You know what? Yeah.
I want to see him full strength. I want to see him go into Archeon and just collapse him. Unlikely it'll actually happen. Will he get Slayers of Kingdom return? Probably. But I just want to see it. Well, I mean, there again, on a 3-up, he can't fight, so it is a really good time to get Scarbrand into Archeon to try and do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that potential. Every time you try and do something on that miniature. Yeah. I get to stand here and look at the players through the glass window. We're in like I'm in a little booth. The players are just the other side of me on a glass window, so I can see exactly what's going on. What's happening here? They're just deciding battle. Sam's deciding his battle tactic now.
So what do you think you would pick here? So we've had what, Conquer and
Conquer and aggressive expansion. You just take monstrous takeover.
Aggressive. Yeah, monstrous takeover is certainly free.
Unless you are planning to throw Archeon into like Scarbrand and the Demon Prince and stuff, monstrous takeover is pretty free.
Maybe a broken ranks on the.
There's a unit. Oh, I mean, there's enough of them. Yeah, you've got that Vanguard unit at the very top there.
Yeah, that should be able to swing into a group and be able to take out a battle line unit. That's what. It's only going to be Blood Reavers, so
Dead.
not the most resilient of things.
Yeah, there's no point doing like Savage Spearhead or anything at this point because you're not going to be able to get into the position, especially in this battle plan, because the missions are a little bit. The territories, sorry, on this mission are like. Where is my mouse? Are very, very restricted. Like they are really far back comparative to what we've seen before. So it'll be interesting to see what Sam does decide to do. I think he's taking his time and mullering it over. Yes, the players have gone through turns 1 and 2 in the sum total space of less than 45 minutes, pretty much. But now the game begins. It is turn 3. There is the option for Miles to remove an objective.
I mean, what do you remove here? I mean, they've got the 9 untamed beasts up there.
Oh, you just get rid of the bottom left one. You ignore that. All your army's on the right hand side of the map. You delete this one, and then you swamp this and just go in here. That would be my 2 cents. Yep. Okay, there you go. Be'lakor has pointed at Archeon this turn.
Yeah, makes.
Yeah. Well, that's me now stood at the window watching their dice rolls.
Do we know who has the next turn already then?
No, he's not done it, because you do it at the start of the hero phase, right?
Yeah.
So Sam's just updating the app now. We've gone with Monstrous Takeover.
Okay, so just
at the very worst, he's got his objective.
Yeah. In the case that Archeon can do nothing this turn, he still scores the battle tactic.
Yeah. And the worst thing that happens is he goes into like the Bloodsecrator or the 6-inch Pile-in Thirster and manages to kill one of them. But then equally, you've got Scarbrand smacking you back in the face. But Scarbrand could fall over to Vanguard, to be fair.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bloodthirsters are very much a glass cannon.
Oh yeah. That unit at the very top of the map, by the way, the ones that look like 3 Baron Guard, they're not. They're actually Chaos Knights, I believe.
What, the ones up by Archeon now being measured?
Yeah. They're actually measuring for the Sorcerer to be in range of the skulls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. If Sam's going to do his mystical thing of knowing who's going first. Very potential that we've got going on there. How many CP is it to move an opponent's model? Okay.
You never know. That might be an ability one day.
I mean, yeah, it could very well be.
There are a few interactions in the game which let you move an opponent's model.
Is Sam using a Wilco tape measure? What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Really trying to decide what to do here. You do have a lot of counter charge coming in here from Miles. He's done a really, really good job of not getting too headstrong and not going in too far, too fast, too early. Which is quite nice. Got some horses potentially doing some movement, but the problem is I don't think Sam's actually used his ability this turn to decide to know who's going next. Is that something you would do every turn? It costs a command point.
I mean, I don't particularly know if you need to, you know? It's good in the first few turns so you can kind of dictate where the battle's going, but once the battle's set up, I mean, it's nice to know, just so you can plan ahead, but I don't think at this turn it's essential.
No, it's probably definitely essential next turn though, right?
Oh yeah.
Redeploy coming in from the Blood Secretor. The problem is now, if you wanted to give up Monstrous Takeover here from Sam, he's got the ability to throw Archeon right into Scarbrand and that Demon Prince, because that Blood Secretor was doing a wonderful job of being a great screen. Now no longer there.
Yeah, absolutely, but I guess you're still kind of hoping on the Bloodslick Lound, aren't you?
Yeah, you're
To
hoping
do
for
a
those
lot of the
half.
heavy lifting.
Yeah, you're doing for the half those half charges. I mean, you could always potentially, if you're Sam, move up, put Archeon like here. So even if you do fail the charge, you still got your battle tactic, you've got your consolation prize. But then you are opening yourself up to being hit by either the Bloodthirster or Scarbrand or Bellicle.
In fact, do you think why he hasn't used the command abilities because it was a straight 50% chance for him to have to go next and have Archeon double debuffed?
Potentially. Yeah.
I
Very,
mean,
very, very
it's
possible.
still a dice roll, but
Yeah, I mean, at what point are you hoping for the 1, 2, 3 rather than the 4, 5, 6?
I mean, it all goes into luck, but it certainly is something to counter in.
Oh look,
A
chat.
straight 50-50.
If anybody's near Warhammer World, Henry Cavill's there again. Off you top. Sorry, before the internet decides to spam me with it, I thought I might as well introduce everybody to the idea that he is there.
Wonderful. Probably getting some Horus Heresy.
Yeah, probably.
So, what Legion would you do if you were playing Horus Heresy?
I wouldn't.
Wow.
I mean,
If you're playing Demons of Ruinstorm like a true hero.
yeah, I would probably play demons, to be fair, because they're so like it's just Space Marines and Space Marines and Space Marines, and it's like the bored of Space Marines now. I've got 23,000 points of Jade Paladins or something stupid like that. I kind of want to be put in a position where I don't have to paint any more Space Marines. So the Demons of Ruinstorm, if they are gonna have their book, then definitely all in on that.
No, I feel the same. I feel exactly the same.
So a 10-inch charge was rolled for the Vanguard, but a 5, yeah.
We still get some in.
Yeah, and they haven't fought twice yet. Remember, they've still got a pile in. Quite know what the players are measuring for. The 6-inch marker down on the tabletop there. You can't exactly get any further. If you're, well, I suppose if you're measuring from a tape measure about 2 foot above the table, 6 inches could be the whole table. It's one of the reasons I really, really like markers and sticks and stuff, is because, unfortunately, maths is a thing. Another 11, so another 6 for that one dude.
Man, he is getting some incredible charges.
They only need a 3. They need a 6 on these dice. 8. Yep, down to a 4. Well in. Now this could be a turn of hurt here for the screen. And all you're going to be left with is some Blood Reavers up on the top right, Scarbrand, a Demon Prince, and Be'lakor, but that's all you need to win the game, really, isn't it? But Archaon is untouched, and will be able to do what he wants next turn.
So we've got Berserk going for the Admech or Solar Auxilia. And Gary going for Alpha Legion. If I had to pick a Legion, Alpha Legion would be my second choice.
I was going to say, if I had to pick a Legion, it'd probably be Alpha Legion, to be fair.
Night Lords would be my first choice.
Mr. Lamentastic,
that is edgy.
The draw is tomorrow, not today. Game 5, mate, not Game 3. So you've got until tomorrow to get your entries in.
Well, I mean, if anything, he's just saying that we should have a private draw with just him in it. I think he's just asking for a box.
Straight up asking for a box. What is it, £180?
Yeah.
It's a damn good value box. A damn good value. Like, there's a Contemptor, there's a Spartan in it as well, isn't there?
Yeah, like 40 Marines or something.
Like, it's actually a really good value box.
Or from discount sites, it goes as low as 125.
I know. I know.
I mean, not that I would ever buy one, but that's a really good price.
I mean, if you want to get into Heresy, I suppose we can get into Heresy.
Oh, heavens no.
Good, thank you.
Unless we do, like, Skaven in 40k.
I've heard that the game itself has got a lot of changes to it, which make it a lot more interactive. But I don't know if it warrants me doing it.
I mean, to me, it's got the least interesting part of 40k, which is Space Marines. So it's really not a massive appeal to me.
So we've seen 3 Vanguard go in. We've seen the Chaos Knights go in. I assume we'll go with the Vanguard, and they'll fight, and then they'll fight again? Or no, they go back into the pool, don't they, to be activated again?
Yep.
Have you got the Vanguard's War Scroll, Moog?
Bear with me and I will pull up the Varangod's War Scroll.
Moog only does army lists that are stupid, so an entire army of Ratning Snipers would definitely be one of Moog's lists.
There we go, there's the Varangod's War Scroll.
Thank you. So, Relentless Killers, once per battle in the combat phase, after it's fought for the first time, when it's your turn to pick, they can fight again. There you go. So it's not an instant fight again, like some things are, but it is a fight again.
Yeah, it's not like the Flesh Eater Court's feeding frenzy where it's just straight up right now.
Miles having to go and get more dice as the Varangard come in and do some damage to this Bloodthirster.
These are some very high rolling dice.
Is that to the wound? Was that to the wound?
To the wound.
Was it the hooves that did it?
No, I haven't attacked with the donkeys.
It's always the
Wow.
moves.
Wow.
It's always the way.
And it was finest houred as well. It was on a 2-up save.
That is. So that makes this look a lot harder now for Khorne.
It does, right? But let's just sit and take a moment. So Scarbrand, I mean, he doesn't fly, so he's got to go through these first, right?
Unless he can find his way through the middle, I don't think there's enough space. So it depends how many tithe points he's got as well. He might be able to just get like a double move off somewhere.
I think he's up to 5 tithe points now.
Yeah, I think that might be
3, 4. Oh, 4. But he spent 2 to auto unbind, didn't he?
that was in turn
2.
1 though.
No,
So
turn 2.
Was it turn 2? Yeah.
Yeah. So that were yes. So he'll be on 2 because you reset to 0, don't you?
You reset to 0, so he's only had 2 things. Has he only had 2 things die since then? No, he's had no, he will be on 4.
Why?
Or will he?
No. So the Wrathmongers, the Corn Dogs, and the Bloodthirster are dead. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's 3. Plus the ones that he generates through the Blood Secretor being on the altar or whatever. I reckon he's got 2 left. I don't think he's got all 4. And then another screen wiped out.
It's certainly looking thin on the Khorne's half here now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even getting objective control away from those 9 untamed beasts, he's got to get through the 3 Varangard. He's then got to get over there. He's then got to kill the untamed beasts, which shouldn't be too hard. But Bellacor's not amazing in combat.
These were cast the fight again spell by the sorcerer on the knights, so they're just going into the unit on the trying to get rid of all the screens to literally leave Scarbrand, Demon Prince, Be'lakor, a couple support heroes alive.
Yeah, and at that point, Archeon can just plunge his way through one at a time. They've got no means of surviving Slayer Kings.
No, but you just kill him first. No.
Theoretically.
And then I assume we'll have a pile in here just to be a bit more awkward with movement shenanigans. Because at no point are you allowed to go within 3 inches of an enemy model. And that means that you've got a heck of a road bump if you want to get Scarbrand through here. You are going to have to go through one of these first.
Yes, indeedy.
In fact, you're going to have to go through the Vanguard first. You have to. And then you're not even fighting with Scarbrand on his full bracket.
Unless he gets a bunch of wounds dealt back to him, and no, it's tough. And because there's obviously the 2 units of Vanguard, well, the units of Knights as well as the Vanguard. If you don't kill both units, you'll still be stuck in combat.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting through there, mate. Specifically because it doesn't fly.
Stupid Scarbrand and his broken wings.
I know. Imagine if he was a real boy. And could fly. He can what? He can fly? He can talk. Points if you know the quote. Alright, so... Oh. Why, Sam? Why? Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you manage to get a wizard to cast Levitate on Scarbrand, he can fly.
What?
If you have a wizard in your Khorne army who can cast Levitate, you could indeed get Scarbrand to fly.
Is Levitate a universal spell?
Generic. Yeah, it is.
Bellacor's a wizard.
He's a named wizard. He can't take universal spells. I mean, it's a strangely high cast value as well for just getting flying, but
What is it?
I believe it's a 7?
Great.
It's a 7 or an 8. Right, so the Chaos Knight's gone. That frees up at least not being tied in by 2 units.
Yeah, he
I'd
did the
assume that's
mortal
made
wounds.
via a Blood Boil?
Yeah, Blood Boil.
Or Blood, whatever it's called.
No, I believe it is Blood Boil. Get rid of it. Get it gone.
So that'll give him another Blood Tithe point as well, so he'll be at 3 now?
Yep.
Okay, so he does have the double move, if he wants it.
Is that
For
what you're
the
playing?
charge in the hero phase.
Is that what you were playing for, really? Probably.
Probably, I don't know. I mean, you can't really make that good of use. You're going to be in range of whatever you're wanting to charge anyway, realistically.
Yeah. So confused. I'm trying to get us back to turn 3, so it's not turn 4.
I mean, we've now got the skulls helping box Archeon a tiny bit, so that he has to go a full movement over.
Yep. Okay, so a couple of mortal wounds coming out here and there from other things. You can see that Be'lakor has now moved up to this top. Oh, I can't draw on the screen. This top bit here, which is quite nice.
Mhm. So he'll obviously, I guess at this point, just to make the points up, he has to try and get Be'lakor going towards the Untamed Beasts.
Yeah.
Just so he can start scoring. I mean, I don't think he gets there this turn.
Well, the
unless he
players
gets
did.
some-
Miles, sorry, did also remove this objective. So
Yeah.
it is just these two in play.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for him to get more model count on these objectives, though. Because, well, he's got he's not got much of an army left on the board. Scarbrand should be able to go through those Vanguard and absolutely kablooey them.
Kablooey, nice. Remember, we don't know who's going next, either. Because Sam didn't use his ability. You really are reliant on Scarbrand and Be'lakor to do some work here, aren't you?
Absolutely, it's all going to be on Scarbrand.
Yeah, because Be'lakor doesn't really do much, does he?
No, and if he gets charged by those Vanguard, he's got nothing to do. Unlike, Legion of the First Prince, where he's got the bodyguard, he's only got his 4-up Ethereal, and I don't even think he's got a ward save when he's in Blades of Khorne. So he's just got his 4-up Ethereal to rely on.
Truth. Hypothetically, I should be able to do that, and it should take us back to turn 3.
Yeah, he will indeed not have a ward save, so he's just got 14 wounds on a 4-up. Of which those Vanguard should be able to do that to him.
Oh, who's Scarbrand? Is there no ward save on Scarbrand?
No, he gets it via his allegiance, usually.
Truth.
And yeah, obviously he's got no bodyguard in the Khorne list.
Of course.
So, how many more wounds we're going to get coming out? Come on, Scarbrand.
Back to turn 3. Sorry about that, chat. There we are. Back to turn 3. We've got hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and a monster kill with monstrous takeover, of course. Hence why Sam got 6 points that turn. What did you say again? Sorry, Moog.
I was just wondering how much damage Scarbrand's managed to inflict on the Vanguard. We've obviously seen 1 Vanguard die, 2 Vanguard die.
Reapers of Vengeance to fight again.
Yeah, certainly can.
Is Scarbrand's range any good, Moog?
Scarbrand's range.
Is it range 2?
Scarbrand is range 2.
Well, he managed to clear all of those.
Yeah, so he's chewed through the Vanguard, and now he's gonna try and come on.
Are you
This
one
is the comeback we need.
What have we got?
I mean, if he's fighting on his best profile, he should be doing a minimum of 8 mortal wounds to Archeon at the start. 16 if he rolls a 6.
Yep.
Obviously, Archeon does have a ward save, though. And I believe any successful ones ping a mortal wound back.
24 mortal wounds.
He did 24. Come on, Scarbrand. And that is enough to kill Archeon. He's only got 20 wounds.
Yeah, but he gets to bounce them back, doesn't he?
He has a 4-up ward save, and then he rolls a 6 bounce back.
Wow. So, what we're going to see is 24 mortal wounds go to Archeon, and then 24 mortal wounds bounce back to Scarbrand.
I mean, on average, this should take Archeon to his second lowest bracket.
Hypothetically. But there is also 9 others from the rest of the stuff.
Oh yeah.
So there's a total of 33 dice.
He only gets the ward against the immortals. He doesn't have a ward against normals.
Six mortal wounds back to Scarbrand here.
6, crikey.
And 9 only taken after the ward save.
Oh, disgusting. And now Archeon gets to attack back, and you gotta imagine it's not gonna be pretty for Scarbrand.
There's 2 wounds left on Archeon.
2.
Yep.
You know what? He may be able to do this still. It is risky.
I mean, it's a 4-up ward, right?
He has a 4-up ward.
That is rolling hot. 29 dice got rolled. He rolled 20 successful saves, 6 of which were 6s. Scarbrand, get in my sword. Right?
Potentially.
And then it could potentially come down to turn roll, right? As to whether Archeon gets over to Be'lakor and slaps him in the face. Because Bellacor's all the way over this side of the battlefield now. You could actually move Archeon to a position where he's outside of 18, I think. Oh, maybe not, actually.
With
Go on.
With the Varangard dying.
Yep.
He's at 5 blood tithe. At 4 blood tithe, you can make another pile in and fight.
I think he already did that. That's what he did.
That's what he did. He didn't
Yeah.
use the Reaper's command.
No, he did. So Scarbrand has fought 3 times this phase.
Yeah. Shame. Shame.
Was that a Slayer's?
Massive
It didn't.
shame.
Yeah. Fair play.
Right. So he took 24 mortal wounds,
Yeah.
and I saved.
You bounced
I got
6 backs.
burn.
Yeah.
So I took 8.
Priority roll. Yeah,
Come on,
so
Demon Prince of Khorne.
you got broken ranks with a monster and hold 1.
Alright.
Oh no, he
If
doesn't
Khorne
even
wins
hold
this-
1. Doesn't even hold 1.
No. So if Khorne
Who
wins
won
this
that?
prio...
Then Sam won the priority.
Oh, you hate to see it, because now Archeon's going to heal up.
Well, yeah, he just heals D3 mortal wounds, right? Sorry, D3 wounds
Yeah.
because of heroic recovery.
I would have loved to see the Slaughter Priest get in there and just whack Archeon.
With 2 wounds left.
Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Or even the Khorne Demon Prince, like, you killed my dad!
But did that mean Archeon also succeeded on his Be'lakor point to fight?
Yes.
So disappointing.
No, because that fight phase was in Miles's turn.
hmm
And you point in your opponent's turn, not in yours, right?
Yeah, but it lasts until your next turn.
Yeah, so Miles pointed at Sam at the
Oh,
top
yeah,
of
yeah,
turn
yeah.
3, and then Miles had... That was at the bottom of turn 3.
Yeah, my bad.
You're ill. It's fine. We'll let you off. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here today for the second game of the Warrior Lodge Heat 3 Quest of Champions. We have got Miles from Gitmob Gaming versus Sam from the Warrior Lodge themselves. Be'lakor, Archaon, Khorne, Slaves to Darkness, taking it to the battlefield here. We are on turn 4 already. Sam has one priority. I assume he's taking turn, and he's doing Ferocious Advance by the look of his hand actions to go here, here, and here. And that's quite an easy one, getting 3 points running them back here, and then letting Be'lakor go around and do... Sorry, Archaon go around and do what he wants to do for fun. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty nice. Oofed. A bit of a doozy, that one, isn't it, Moog?
Yeah, so, hard to imagine a massive comeback here for Be'lakor and Be'lakor alone.
Well, I mean, there's hold 1, hold 2, hold more, a battle tactic achieved, so that's another 5 points. So it's going to be putting 21 to 13 going into Miles' turn 4. He's not doing a lot this turn, is he? He might be able to kill Archaon with Be'lakor, maybe?
Maybe, but he'll still only ever get hold 1 at this point, so...
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, Sam has done a really good job of winning the priorities. No, of playing pretty well, getting pretty lucky on the dice rolls. Archaon managing to live on just 2 wounds has been pretty stellar. Yeah, it's been pretty fortunate for one half of the force and pretty alright for the other, I guess. I normally roll with the punches, but I really did agree with the grumps in chat when they were really cool, meaningful monologue with cool graphics that made you think, oh, we're finally getting 40k Total War, maybe. Turned out to be a not even very good looking card game. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
there was about 6 card games, so...
I don't look at the Skulls promotion stuff anymore. It just doesn't interest me, unfortunately. I'm doing what interests me right now, and that's commentating Warhammer Age of Sigmar with my friends. With my friend, my only friend.
Ooh.
The people in the chat.
Okay, mate. No, there was a lot of card games advertised. A lot.
Wasn't there CRPG as well?
Yes, there was. By the people that made Pathfinder. Which is a pretty good video game in my opinion. Needs some help with mods, but pretty good. But it feels like a waste for it to be 40k and not Fantasy or Sigmar. I'll say that.
The difference is 40k makes the money, right? People would much rather be in the future shooting guns than in the past hitting people with sticks.
I disagree.
Well, you do, but the majority of people. No,
I
I'm not
disagree.
saying
We've got guns. Rats have guns.
I'm not saying the majority of people are right.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Total War, Warhammer, and Vermintide have been their most successful video game franchises.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean they've sold the best in terms of, like, that has been the single most successful. But what about the group, right? Like, if you can sell one game and some other Age of Sigmar games and say it makes 20 million, but you can sell 40k games and amongst them they make 32 million, you're going to keep putting money in. I mean, to be fair, GW don't pay any money to develop these
they
games.
They don't put any money
Like,
into
it's
them.
just free money for them at this point, right? Like,
Mm.
there is a saying that quantity is a quality all of its own. And I think the sheer quantity of games then ignores the existence of 4 editions of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay versus 1 edition of the 40k RPG. I can't even remember the name of Bailey. Darktide?
Yeah, Darktide.
No,
I
but
believe the Age of Sigmar RP one's doing pretty well.
Soulbound.
Mm.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
But let's all just appreciate the best 40k video game of all time, Fire Warrior.
No. Soulstorm.
Fire Warrior.
Clearly Soulstorm. I don't know what
Fire
you're on about.
Warrior.
Soulstorm was phenomenal.
Fire Warrior.
Absolutely great game. Not Fire Warrior, Soulstorm. Well, if these players could hurry up and finish this game, I need to change the mat over now.
I mean, I don't see this going well for the Khorne.
No, no, they don't.
It's decided at this point, I feel. I mean, unless somehow this Demon Prince absolutely survives Archeon's charge, and then slaughters him, and then Bellicor manages to wade through 3 Varangard, and then 18.
They're not
Untamed
Varangard,
Beasts.
they're actually Chaos Knights.
Oh, those are Chaos Knights, are
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
So all the Varangard are gone.
Scarbrand ate through them all.
Okay. Bellicor. Okay, Bellicor very much could do that then. It'll just take him time.
Maybe you don't even charge them. Like, you just leave them there. You put more bodies on the objective.
Yeah, let him fail the charge. Or let him potentially fail the charge.
Sam just seems to be rolling 5s and 6s for days here.
It's almost like that Khorne Demon Prince did not matter. This game.
It was just... Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, Sam's just been rolling 10s and 11s on his charges for days. Like, he's not needed the... And the players just remembering that they forgot to do monstrous actions. Both players agreed to roar. Oh, well, no, sorry. Sam roared. The Demon Prince isn't a monster, is it?
No, it's not.
Is it? Oh, has it got the mortal keyword? As
The
well
Demon
as
Prince?
as well as the demon keyword?
Bear with me un momento.
Can't remember. Dead Demon Prince.
I'll still look it up just in case.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but who could have seen this coming?
Well, it's another blood type.
It's a shame that he's only got like 2. He slaves the darkness. Demon Prince does not have the mortal keyword.
Just demon.
Yeah, so it's up to this lone slaughter priest or blood secretor or whatever it is down here to take on Archeon.
That is a blood secretor right there.
Right, so let's talk about the blood secretor's combat profile.
Well, bring it down has been chosen.
I mean, there's not much else you're going to be able to do, so...
See, what you do is you move Bellicor first to trigger the redeploy, and then put the blood secretor in place to go and smack it. Ugh.
Right, so many wounds does Archeon have now? Like 5?
5.
Okay, so here we go. Here is the combat profile of the blood
Can only do
secretor.
4 damage. A cheeky blood boil, maybe?
He can add 1 to his own characteristics attack.
Oh, hang on. Sam's had 2 turns to heroic recovery. Because he can heroic recovery in Miles's turn as well.
Yes, he can.
I'm going to go and check the wounds on Archeon whilst you look through that.
So he's essentially got 5 attacks at 3s and 3s, minus 1/1. Maybe he declared it's his happiest hour and gets +1 to wound. Gives it all that attack, +1 to hit. Unfortunately, still not gonna really do much for him. It just doesn't do enough. But you never know. He might get absolutely crazy lucky.
Archeon has 6 minutes left.
Okay, so he can do a max of 5 damage.
Well, he's got Blood Boil and stuff as well,
Yes, he does have the prayers, I suppose.
which he failed.
And he's got rerolls because he's near a shrine.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
no,
rolled a
he's not
3
near, he's
into
not
a...
near the shrine. Oh my word.
He rolled a 3 into a 3.
Right. Okay,
There
Bellacor's
is
coming
a
over
priest
to
on
help.
here. There is a priest on the shrine, by the way.
Bellacor's coming over to help. It's okay.
Redeploy. 6 inch. Come on, Sam. Oh my god.
These
He's
dice rolls.
already dead.
The only things I've seen out of these dice are 5s and 6s.
I need to go and roll those. The man is already dead. Leave him alone. Poor bugger.
We got a bloodthirster coming on?
Yeah, he had the blood tithe points, clearly.
How did we get that many blood tithe?
How many is the blood tithe?
You need 8 for a bloodthirster.
Well, we've seen a lot of stuff die. Maybe he just didn't spend it last turn. Maybe I was wrong.
I mean, if he had 4 no, he had 5 before, and then Scarbrand died.
6.
The Vanguard died. The
7.
Vanguard died.
8.
Yeah, okay. He's gonna come in and fail the charges because he needs to use the other player's dice. That's the issue here.
Just roll a fat 11. He did fail the charge. He doesn't even get any VPs that turn. Oh, Miles, going into turn 5.
I bet he loses the pro just to add insult to injury.
No! He won the prio!
Oh, what's he gonna do? Bring it down? Slay the Warlord?
Slay the Warlord.
Whichever one he didn't use last turn.
Slay the Warlord because you can do that with a monster and get an extra VP.
Yeah, yeah.
It's alright, he's going to move up and then just redeploy 3 inches. Sorry, 6 inches again.
Oh, he will. That's the sad thing.
Well, no, the problem is, now you've got a Be'lakor and the other one to deal with. So I'd actually move Be'lakor first, because I think he moves slightly slower than the Demon Print, the Bloodthirster. And then you can send the Bloodthirster after him to go and eat his face.
I mean, you still got the chance of moving Be'lakor upwards and trying to take that objective, however unlikely.
Yeah, but it's the last turn. You're currently 8 points behind. I don't think any amount of Khorne praying would save you at this point. It has been...
So moving the skulls to block his retreat?
Makes sense. Why would you not? It makes... Arcane Bolt has been cast. Yeah, you're gonna real struggle to look like if Miles watches this game back. I don't think he necessarily did anything catastrophically wrong. I think it was just Sam's dice really helped him this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The positioning was good. Obviously, one player knows what's going to be happening the turn after, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Miles did really, really well to be able to stand there, stand his ground for 2 turns, play it coy, play it safe, and then bring the pain, or try and bring the pain turn 3, which to some point he did, but Archeon living on 2 wounds, it was just unfortunate. What would have happened if he had killed Archeon with Scarbrand and Scarbrand hadn't died to the mortal wounds back? He would have still summoned another Bloodthirster. So you'd be then looking at a Bloodthirster, Scarbrand, and Be'lakor back on the battlefield, and instantly the game's a bit different again, isn't it?
Yeah, massively.
Oh, well, there's an 11-inch charge for Be'lakor into the Sorcerer Lord there. I assume Archeon's the Warlord in Sam's list.
He's a War Master, so he counts as anyway.
No, he counts as a general. Oh, well, yeah. Hang on. So, Slay the Warlord, can you kill either of them and get it?
Yeah. I mean, General and Warlord are the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but for if there are two generals, like one's a War Master and one's a general.
Oh, yeah, both count.
Okay.
It just says you have to kill the Warlord, and there's two.
Well, there you go. Okie dokie. So this is just the Bloodthirster. I think this is the Boomthirster is what people call it. You know, the Sensate Rage one.
Boom, boom, shake, shake the room.
Seven at -2 going through into Archon. Three to reroll in phase. Oh yeah, because Archon can reroll saves for until his next hero phase, can't he?
Mm-hmm.
Which is how he's managed to tank, and it's not been his hero phase to be able to sort it back out.
Come on. He's got to be gone.
Well, there's 12 mortal wounds gone on him.
That's got to be him gone. No more spike in sixes.
Well, let's see. Three mortal wounds done back.
He's rolling so far above average.
Yeah, this is incredible. Sam's dice have got to tank next game. There's no way that he can not have them tank again next game, surely. Did you not Reapers of Vengeance command ability to fight again?
It might, crikey, back to Blades of Khorne.
Oh, Be'lakor lifted the little Sorcerer Lord, by the way.
I mean, not a surprise. At the start of the combat phase, if you do pick one friendly Reapers of Vengeance demon, after that unit has fought in the combat phase for the first time, if it's within 3 of an enemy unit, it can immediately make a pylon and then attack. So he had to use it at the start of the combat phase. Unless he just added all the attacks into one there.
Very possible. Oh my god, it's devastating.
So what was that? Was that a Wrath of Khorne? No, that's it's the big axe on this one. Wasn't
No, the you know, the Sorcerer Lord.
Mm.
He died from the 12 splash mortal wounds from the Bloodthirster. You know, because when you hit a 6...
Oh, it was the whippy one then.
Yeah. No, not the whippy one. It's the big axe. When you hit an enemy, wound with a 6, you do splash mortal wounds to things around it.
That one is the
Infected
Fury?
No, the Insensate Rage.
Oh my god, I can never remember which Bloodthirster.
That one's Insensate.
Apart from Scarbrand.
Yeah, that one's Insensate Rage right there.
I mean, that is something, isn't it?
Nothing short of unfortunate, though. Watching that happen has been nothing short of painful. Ugh. And who was the actual general for Miles?
The actual general is the Chaos Lord. Oh no, he did actually make
The Sorcerer.
Yeah, he did actually make Archeon the general, by the looks of it.
Oh, did he?
Mhm.
Be'lakor went in and didn't manage to kill him either. short of thingy.
Well, there you go. There's the
Yeah, and they've
handshake.
called
I
it
mean,
there. Oh, damn. Turn 5, Sam just does something. Mask of Darkness, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, they're just going through the final phases of the turn 5, going through there, and sorting it out. So that is a Slave to Darkness win, there, ladies and gentlemen. Moog, thank you so very much for joining me here for game number 2 of the Quest of Champions Heat 3.
no problem.
I appreciate that. It has been absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it has just been absolutely great to have you here. Sorry you can't be here in person, but thank you very much for being here in spirit, at least. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
And thank you very much to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. If you want to win a Horus Heresy box, you can do with !heresy or !HH in the chat. All the information and details will be found in there. Other than that, I want to say a massive thank you to the players as well, and to all of our followers, subscribers, donators, cheerers, pledges, lurkers, raiders, hosters, and everybody else. You guys mean a great deal to us, so thank you very much for being here. Other than that, we'll be back for game number 3 this afternoon, and it will be... let me see the time. Bang, 4:30. There you go. We'll be back at around 4:30. Might be a little earlier. Depends. And I might have Moog, I might not. It all depends on what he's doing. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Other than that, thank you very much, everybody. And we'll catch you guys in a bit.